All right, I'm gonna set that board up that I want to go in this little area right here. So it's gonna set on all three of these tables. So the table that the camera's on right now, then over here, and then the one behind me. So what I need to do first is I need to move all these village pieces. And then I have some trees right here. Then underneath the platform that the schools are on, I have a little snow blanket draped in between the two tables just to cover up all those wires. So I'm not gonna need that there, and I'll probably end up needing that for the tables. So I might as well take that now while I'm thinking about it. So those are my first two steps. So I'm gonna start moving everything very carefully so I don't smash everything together. All right, I have all the village pieces removed off from the styrofoam bases that I feel are gonna be affected by the board. So this board is pretty thick and is very heavy. My husband thinks that I'm not gonna need any kind of brace underneath it. He says once I get it up in place, if I decide I still want some kind of brace underneath it, he'll go ahead and rig me something up. So I think what I'm gonna do is just set it on top of the styrofoam base pieces, and then take a pencil and draw around it, and then go grab my styrofoam cutter and cut those chunks of styrofoam off. And then I'll worry about building my base onto the board. So I want to get the board stable. So let's go ahead and get the board up. Like I said, it's heavy, so. All right, so now I gotta find my pencil and draw around the edge of that, so hold on. All right, I'm gonna start with this sheet of styrofoam base that is on the table that most of the city is on. This is the biggest piece that I'll have to cut off. My cutter here is nice and warm. It's got a little smoke going. I can smell it too. That's part of the reason why I don't cut in the house, is because it smells so bad. I also don't want to go, I'm lifting the styrofoam up a little bit because I don't want it to get the tablecloth, because that will smell really bad too. Oh, this is like awful smelling. But the cutter is nice and hot, so it's just cutting right through like butter. All the styrofoam base has been cut. I'm gonna put the board back up here and just make sure that I don't need to cut a little bit more. I may have to cut the styrofoam base that's here at the end of the mountain, just because there's only like a ½ inch of table that I can see underneath the tablecloth. Whereas right here, there's about 3 inches. So I wanna make sure it's even as possible. So I'm just gonna put this up and see how it looks. Okay, it's definitely not level, just because this table must be higher than these other tables. But I think it feels sturdy. I don't know. Maybe I would feel better. Okay, I think I am just gonna go ahead and trim off probably about a ½ inch more of that. So I'm gonna pause you guys and I'll come back. The board is in place and it does feel really secure, so I'm not gonna need that brace underneath it like I was thinking I would. So we're not gonna tell him, but my husband was right. We'll just let him think that I just don't want it, is what we'll do. It did have a little bit of a wobble to it though, because the table that the camera is sitting on right now is just a little bit higher than the other tables. I thought maybe that was the case when we put the platform that the 3 schools are on. The back side of it that's closest to the hill was kind of setting a little lower. So I figured that that table was a little little higher. So what I did is in the 3 corners, I just took a piece of the styrofoam that I cut off and put underneath each of those corners, and that leveled that out. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put a tablecloth over top of this, and then get some thinner styrofoam and put on top. So I have my styrofoam base.